Nityananda Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the Assembly Buddhist. All glories to the Assembly Buddhist. All glories to the Assembly Buddhist. All glories to Sri Sri Guru Guru. All glories to the Assembly Buddhist. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha First of all, I'd like to excuse myself. Actually, I think it was Manga who should be speaking today, but he kindly gave the opportunity to me. Yeah, out of humility, because I know him. He likes to give lectures, so it's a very nice gesture. Thank you. What verse is it?
6.
4, I think.
No, 7 or something.
Okay. Any others?
He took a few verses.
I heard it's the hellish planets.
That's true.
He started with number 2 and then the first purport he stopped. He took number 2.
But yesterday it was Bupa. You read it perfectly.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 26, The Hellish Planets, Text 6. Is there any meter to this? Yatraha Vava Bhagavan Pritri Rajo Vaivasvata Svavaisayam Prapitishu Svapurushai Jantushu Samparitrishu Yatha Karmavatyam Dosham Ivanu Langitam Gita Bhagavat Chasanat Shangano Dhaman Dharayati. Please repeat. Yatra.
Yatra.
Where?
Where?
Ha.
Ha.
Bhava. Indeed.
Indeed.
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan.
The most powerful.
The most powerful.
Pitri Raja.
Pitri Raja.
Yamaraj, the king of the Pittas.
Yamaraj, the king of the Pittas.
Vaivasvata.
Vaivasvata.
The son of the sun god.
The son of the sun god.
Svavishayam.
Svavishayam.
His own kingdom.
His own kingdom.
Rapitisu.
Rapitisu.
When caused to reach.
When caused to reach.
Svapurushai.
Svapurushai.
By his own messengers.
By his own messengers.
Jantushu.
Jantushu.
The human beings.
The human beings.
Samparitisu.
Samparitisu.
Dead. Yatha karma havacham.
Yatha karma havacham.
According to how much they had violated the rules and regulations.
According to how much they have violated the rules and regulations
of conditional life.
of conditional life.
Dosham.
Dosham.
The fault.
The fault.
Eva.
Eva.
Certainly.
Certainly.
Inalankita bhagavat sasangha.
Inalankita bhagavata sangha.
Who never oversteps the Supreme Personality of Godhead's order.
Who never oversteps the Supreme Personality of Godhead's order.
Saganaha.
Saganaha.
Along with his followers.
Along with his followers.
Dhamam.
Dhamam.
Punishment.
Punishment.
Dharayati.
Dharayati.
Executes.
Executes.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu. The king of the Pittas is Yamaraj, the very powerful son of the sun god. He resides in Pitri-loka with his personal assistants, and while abiding by the rules and regulations set down by the Supreme Lord, has his agents, the Yamadutas, bring all the sinful men to him immediately upon their death. After bringing them within his jurisdiction, he probably judges them according to their specific sinful activities and sends them to one of the many hellish planets for suitable punishment. Okay. Yamaraj is not a fictitious or mythological character. He has his own abode, Prithvi Loka, of which he is the king. Agnostics may not believe in hell, but Sukadeva Goswami affirms the existence of Naraka planets, which lie between the Gavadaka ocean and Patalaloka. Yamaraj is appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to see that human beings do not violate his rules and regulations, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.17. Kamano yapi pathavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanascha pathavyam guna gahana karmanokati. The intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know probably what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. One should understand the nature of karma, vikarma, and akarma, and one must act accordingly. This is the law of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conditioned souls who have come to this material world for sense gratification are allowed to enjoy their senses under certain regulative principles. If they violate these regulations, they are judged and punished by Yamaraj. He brings them to the hellish planets and probably chastises them to bring them back to Krishna consciousness. By the influence of Maya, however, the conditioned souls remain infatuated with the mode of ignorance. Thus, in spite of repeated punishment by Yamaraj, they do not come to their senses, but continue to live within the material conditions, committing sinful activities again and again. Om Jnana Timrandasya Kyanandana Salakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobishtam Stavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadachi Swabdandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagyatam Saganam Raghunatam Vitam Samsajivam Satvaitam Sarvatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Caitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Kapadam Sahaganadavita Sri Sakan Vichamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Tina Pandu Jagapate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Visavana Sudadevi Pranamami Hai Priye Vanchakalpa Tarupyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitana Bhavnivyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The king of the Pitas is Yamaraj, the very powerful son of the sun god. He resides in Prithviloka, which is his personal assistance, and while abiding by the rules and regulations set down by the Supreme Lord, has his agents, the Yamadutas, bring all the sinful men to him immediately upon their death. After bringing them within his jurisdiction, he probably judges them according to their specific sinful activities and sends them to one of the many hellish planets for suitable punishment. So the hellish planets is a way, it's a short section in Bhagavatam, and our process is more to put relevance or significance on the positive process. But we need to be warned, or many people, or say most people, need to be warned what happened if they don't. If they will not voluntarily listen to Krishna's advice. Then they need to be fairly warned what will happen. So therefore there's this short section in the end of the 5th canto, where we hear about the hellish worlds, Narakaloka. The place where that is engineered for suffering. And ultimately, as everything else, it is done by Krishna. But we hear here he uses his very empowered and completely surrendered servant, one of the Mahatmas, Yamaraj. So that's a very, I would like to have that post. To serve the Lord by constantly torturing people. And he's not doing it so much himself, of course it's the Yamadutas who are really torturing people. But that is his associates. That's who he hangs out with. Right, so, and that's actually why we hear Yamaraj is cursed by Manduka Muni. Because that's the whole story, and the police caught him and charged him for killing a person. And he said, but I didn't do anything. And then it came to the king, and the king heard and said, immediately release him. He's a great Muni. Immediately release him. So he was released just before he was about to be executed by being pierced on a spear from the bottom side. So he went to Yamaraj and he said, why, how come? How could you do this to me? What did I do? What is my karma so that I deserve this punishment? And he said, once when you were a child, you took a straw and you pierced it for an insect. Mandaka Muni, he said, that's a sinful activity, but I was a child. So, what is it? When you're a child, you cannot get any karma. So you should have taken into consideration that actually I was not liable for punishment. So you shouldn't have punished me in this way. So now I curse you. I'll curse you to become a sutra on this planet Earth. So as always, when great sages curses, there's a benediction there. And the benediction was that Yamaraj was a little overworked. He was stressed out, working hard, punishing people. So this curse arranged that he could come as Vidura and preach Bhagavatam. So that was practically what Vidura was doing. From his very birth, he would just talk about Krishna. And when he was the advisor of Dhritarashtra, he would constantly advise him on the basic of Shastra. So he was constantly preaching, and we know after the whole thing with Duryodhana, he insulted him. He said, what are you kept mistress, coming here and spying for the enemy? We are feeding you, and what are you doing? You're betraying us. So now I leave you with only your life here. So he said, I won't kill you, but I take away everything. You better leave this palace. You have nothing more. Take away your palace, take away your money, I take away everything. So Vidura, what did he do? Sit down and lament? No, he said, great, this is a fantastic opportunity to go on pilgrimage. So he went on pilgrimage, and there he met first Uddhava, and he was asking Uddhava, please tell me something about Krishna. And Uddhava was explaining something, but then he said, close by there's an elder Vaishnava than myself. So you should go to him. You should go to Maitreya Muni and he will explain to you. And that's partly because Uddhava, he was on his way. What's this? Anyway, he was a fixed up devotee, so he wanted to focus on his sadhana. So he sent him to Maitreya Muni. And there's a whole several chapters, I think, in Bhagavatam where Maitreya Muni is sitting preaching to Vidura. So after Vidura, he comes back, after hearing and going on pilgrimage, he comes back to Dhritarashtra. And there he starts preaching to Dhritarashtra. So this is after the war. This is after Krishna left the planet. And that's why Uddhava, he wanted to go to the Himalayas. He wanted to go to Badarik's ashram on the order of Krishna. Uddhava, when he was sitting talking with Krishna before Krishna left, he pleaded him, please take me with you. I cannot live without you. We are always together. It's like Uddhava was always with Krishna. The gopis was always in separation from Krishna, and even the queens of Dwaraka, there was always this separation from Krishna. But Uddhava was constantly with Krishna, practically. He was his friend, he was his advisor. So he was extremely attached to Krishna. So he said, now you're leaving, please take me with you. And Krishna says, no, I have a service for you. I have a service that you stay here and you preach this knowledge. Who else would explain the sages what happened? So Uddhava completely surrendered. He said, if this is your desire or not, so be it. And he went completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and went to the Badarik's ashram. And there Dhritarashtra, he went back to, he went back to Dhritarashtra and started preaching heavily to him, saying, you are eating the food, the remnants of the one you tried to kill, with poison and all the 6 methods I mentioned, that you can kill a person. So you try to kill him, you try to kill the Pandavas, you try to kill Bhima, and now you're living by eating their remnants. And you have become hard of hearing, your liver is not working properly anymore, you're coughing up mucus. What kind of life is this you're living? So because this purity was there, to Dhritarashtra, he listened. Vidura, he was preaching this all the time, but with this purity coming from associating with the holy places and Uddhava and Maitreya, became very empowered. And that then, when he spoke there, Dhritarashtra, he took it to heart. So that when Dhritarashtra left everything, took sannyas, or became a tira, as Prabhu mentioned, actually he became more like almost like Mayavadi sannyas he took. So this is all due to the curse of Anmanduga Muni, so he became Vidura. So Vidura, he would come and preach. So he lived his life preaching Bhagavatam. So the position of Yamaraj is extremely difficult. And he's constantly in this bad association. So we hear something, we'll hear a little later, about what the hellish planets are like. And it's just torture, constant torture. And because you're there in your subtle body, this gross body is created such that when there comes too much pain, you simply faint. Or if it's too extreme, you die. And actually the same with pleasure. This body can take such and such amount of pleasure. I guess if we experience what the inhabitants experience in the spiritual world, being with Krishna, we would explode in happiness. We would simply not be able to contain it. This is just me. But because this body is not geared for either of the two. We can't take too much pain or too much pleasure in this body. Because that's not what it's created for. It's created for pain, but only to a limited degree. Because we are here in the middle in Machiloka, because we are here, we only have we have bad karma, but it's not as bad as those going to hell. Or those going on the same planet, but living in the lower species. So we have relatively good karma in that sense. So we are allowed to live in a place where there's not too much suffering, but also we do not have enough good karma to live in the heavenly planets. So everything there is just constructed, just geared towards suffering. And because you're there in your subtle body, there's no way out. So they can just turn up the volume of the suffering, so to say. They can just turn up the suffering to unlimited degrees. And there's no escape. You can't get out. You just need to endure it. So there's hells where they throw out people from cliffs. There's sharp cliffs. Imagine standing on top of a mountain and you see down. Anyone afraid of heights? I am. I think in my previous life I fell out from in one of my previous lives. When I'm up there, hey, get away from here. So imagine standing there and you're looking down, straight down. And not only is it straight down for maybe thousands of kilometers, I don't know, hundreds of kilometers, long distance. There's all these sharp stones and cliffs all the way down. And then they stand there and most likely they hold you over so you can enjoy your trip you're going to have. Right? And then they just throw you out. And you're completely smashed down on these cliffs and you're lying there completely broken. And then they take you, bring you down on the top, give you the same treatment. That goes on for thousands of years. So it's not a place where we want to go, for sure. But actually the whole material world is like that. It's suffering. Wherever we go, even if we go to Brahmaloka, there's suffering. Repeated birth and death. So actually little suffering, much suffering, in one sense it's not such a big difference. Because what is the worst suffering? Separation from Krishna. And that's the real suffering. That's why we hear about great devotees saying, I like to go to hell. No problem. You just send me to hell. Just give me the benediction that I'll never forget Krishna. That's what I beg for. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, let me take birth as an insect. Just please, I beg of you, if I did any pious activities, please let it be in the Vaishnava family. So there's like, whatever Krishna decides, whatever Krishna desires, is my desire. I have no personal preference, a pure devotee speaking, not me. A pure devotee speaking, I have no personal preference. Whatever you want, my Lord, send me to hell, send me to the hellish planets, send me to the heavenly planets, send me to Vaikuntha, send me wherever you want. Just give me the ability to constantly remember you. Akama sarva kama va moksha karma uttarati tivrena bhakti yogina yateta purusham. Bhagavad says, whether you have akama, no desire, sakama, all kind of material desires, or moksha karma, you desire liberation, tivrena bhakti yogina yateta purusham. If you have one point and if you have sharp intelligence, then you simply surrender unto Krishna, because he will take care of you. So that's the mood of a devotee. Whatever Krishna wants, I know he is my well-wisher. He's the well-wishing friend of all living entities. So he loves us. He loves even the most degraded personality. He loves him more than we can ever imagine. So that's the fate of a devotee, because Krishna loves me. And because, as he promises again and again in Bhagavad Gita, he'll take care of his devotee. That is my only focus. That's all I need to focus on. I don't need to think, where will Krishna send me, what will happen after birth. Like we hear in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that the